Heisenberg Forest, but I usually don't do a live video on Friday nights, but and I have a complete fire ban right now, so no fire. This is our second or third Friday where we can't have um, a campfire, which sucks because we like sitting by the campfire on the weekends, but what can you do? So I thought maybe I'd just chat about our gardens tonight. So probably recognize this sign here if you follow us on Sundays. We have a live firewood business, so this is our entry sign here, which is, I think, is pretty cool. Anyways, below that sign we have a little garden, and in there Louise planted some pickling cucumbers. So part of the idea, we have some flowers in the front here, and those flowers help pollination for some reason. I'm not sure. Louise may research that. So that's her little garden, and we've got a bunch of cucumbers growing in this area. Here we have one of our two bigger gardens, and you can see I've put some shavings down in between the rows. So I've planted some corn here. So I've got 9 rows of corn. So this garden measures 15 by 17 feet. So I planted a whole bunch of corn in here. So hopefully it grows, because the last time I planted corn I had no luck. So we'll see if it grows. So I put shavings in between each of the rows just to keep things a little moisture. It's a little dry this summer, or so far this summer. So hopefully the shavings are going to keep the moisture in. So if you look at, I watered this. Yeah, it's a little damp, but it'll need to be watered again soon, probably tomorrow. So this is the corn I planted. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a 72-day corn, which would bring us to the end of August almost. So, and corn freezes, so you have to get it before the frost. So usually mid-September we usually get frost by then. So, and I'm planning to can all this corn. So we have a canner, and I think I've shared a video back in the day when we did some canning. And this garden here is Louise's garden, so there's a lot more stuff in her garden. Right here we have some carrots, and again she planted some flowers there at the end to have bees in the garden, so that it helps with pollination. We had planted some wax beans in our greenhouse. So we had a few plants of wax beans that we planted in the garden, and then we planted some seeds. So if I count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So there's 6 rows of waxed beans in this garden. And then over here, you probably recognize this plant as tomatoes. So we planted 8 plants of tomatoes today, which we bought at Costco yesterday when we were in Sudbury. So this corner plant right here, that's a cherry tomato, and the rest of them are, I can't remember what they're called. I'm just gonna check here. They're called early girl tomatoes. So they're smaller tomatoes, but once again we can those. We make sauce out of it, and we use it in all kinds of recipes. And we're gonna add 4 plants tomorrow. We're gonna have to buy 4 more plants. Some years we plant the tomatoes ourselves, and this year we just didn't get around to it. So you'd think that in retirement we'd have lots and lots of time to do stuff like this, but life is busy. We still have some children at home, so they're keeping us busy. So that's our second garden, and this one is a little smaller. I think it's 12 by 15. The big plan for us next year or the year after is I want to move all our gardens to one area right here, and we're going to build some raised beds, but I still need to do some research on that before I go into this project full tilt. So I'm just walking back here. So we're not quite done. There's still some work to do with gardens. So we're chipping away at this. We've worked 3 days so far. Quite a bit of work because we had to pull the weeds out and put some manure in, and then use the tiller and get things all ready, but it's coming along. We also have a greenhouse that I built, so those people that follow me have seen this before. I built this greenhouse last spring in my shop, so I don't know if I can open it here. It's usually pretty hard to open. There we go. So I've got a nice little greenhouse in here. So right now it's like 25 degrees in here. So Louise has some squash plants in here, and we planted some tomato plants just for fun, but they're pretty small still, so I don't know. We might put them into some pots. So this is a nice, if I remember right, this greenhouse measures 8 feet by 8 feet, and we're planning to move this out of this area here into our raised garden, which is going to be it's going to be 24 by 32 or something like that. So it's going to be a big area, but we're moving to raised gardens because as we get older, it's getting a little harder to be on all fours. And so this greenhouse will be part of the project. So we're going to move this away from here over there, and we're going to get rid of these two gardens here. We're probably going to get rid of some other stuff. She's got some nice rhubarb this year. Look at that. I don't think we've ever had, I've been here 30 years. This is our best year for rhubarb. So we're gonna harvest this. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to help me come up with a nice recipe. So this was another raised garden right here. So this is a chicken coop here. So we have a raised garden that we're kind of changing. Louise moved some of the dirt from here so that we can come by with a lawnmower and keep this a little cleaner. Nice little rooster on our chicken coop and some birds. Pretty cool, eh? So while Louise was moving some of this, I'm trying to fix, I've got a pipe here. So there's water that comes down here, and it's always a big mess. So I'm trying to build something so that the water will come down a little slower into this pipe that goes all the way over there. So that was kind of my work today, but my problem was I ran out of meanie ties, so I need a couple more to finish this, and then I'm going to put a screen on top of this and just level this out so it's a little bit easier to mow. So we're trying to make things a little easier. Louise has tons of flowers, so these baskets here I built for her. So I built this one here a few years back, and I built a couple last summer for her birthday. So these two at our entrance right here. So I built her those baskets. We might start building them to sell. So I haven't decided. That's something I'm thinking about. Something for me to do in the winter. So you can probably hear the geese. I don't know if you can see them, but they're flying by. I can't really see my screen here. So we got some Canada geese coming by. So that's where we're at with the gardens. I'm just gonna walk back to the pool area here. So Louise has a lot of nice plants. She's really good at this stuff. So this year we're kind of working together at sprucing up our property. So she's got some nice hostas here. A lilac, I think it's called a lilac tree. It didn't produce many flowers this year. It's only a few. Some years there's not as many, but lilac tree. And then we have another area here, and that's where I think she usually puts peppers in this little garden here, which is by our pool. And the idea, eventually we're gonna have flowers here. So you can see I've got a lot of work to do. We need to get some of those weeds out next week. Weeds out of this garden here, and you can see in front some of these big dandelions. So I'm gonna clean this up. So we're probably gonna end up spending a couple of days, 2-3 days working at this. So I'm kind of spending 3 hours each day just doing some gardening stuff, and then I need to get back to work in my wood yard too. So we keep busy, but you know what? We love this stuff, and as long as we like it, we're gonna keep we're gonna keep living here. And the day that it becomes too much, then we're gonna sell the place and move somewhere simpler. See how this is peaceful here. It's probably my favorite views right here. This pool area is my pride and joy. See, she's got some flowers here, so there's a lot of work that we need to do in this area this year, and we're gonna chip away. We want to get rid of some of these brush here that's overgrown, and so we're gonna look at cutting some of this stuff out. Um, and then I need to work on my, probably not this year, but soon we're gonna redo this this fence here. So I want to go to a chain link fence to open up this view. So here's Lucky. Hey Lucky. He's an old dog and he's deaf. So anyways, that's my first video for gardens. So I'm gonna try to keep up with the videos. It's kind of I call it a, not a blog, but a vlog, a video log. So I like doing that because you know, 2-3 years from now, you know, I watch these videos over again, and I I enjoy reminiscing about the good old days. So that's part of the plan with this. With the wood business, I've got a YouTube channel. I don't have a YouTube channel for this here, so it's only on my Facebook page. So I'm gonna sign off at this point. Thank you for joining me. I see my cousin Joanne is here. Salut Joanne. J'espère que tu passes un beau week-end. So Joanne grew up right next to us, and she grew up in a gardening family too. So some of this stuff always comes back. Eh? You go back to your roots, and for me in retirement, I'm certainly going back to my roots with the chickens and the gardening and the wood and all this nice stuff. So I'm really enjoying this. So anyways, I'm hopefully going to be back next Friday. So I try to have my videos on set days, not set times, because I can never predict what I'll be doing that day. But Fridays will be the gardens, the garden video. So I'll bring you along as we grow. As the garden grows, so you'll see how things go and some of our challenges. And maybe in the fall, if we do some canning, I might bring you along that journey too. So Friday are the gardens. Wednesdays I do the chickens. So right now we got our latest batch of meat chickens. So I'll be doing that for about 10 more weeks, and then once a week I do the business video on the firewood stuff. And this week we're going to be talking about my new website. So if you're interested in that stuff, I should be on. Usually I try to go on Sunday mornings, but we'll see. Woo, I almost wiped out here. So I'm going to sign off. I hope everybody's going to have a nice weekend. I'm going to sign off with this view here, which is absolutely gorgeous. I am so grateful for everything I have. I'm a lucky guy. So have a great weekend, everybody. Sending you love. Ciao.